Setswana.
Ka Setswana re gape kana ka Setswana what
Rutanna.
not rutega ma. Ba reng kana ka Setswana. Ha ba re o tsene like you are in.
Oh, you're inside.
Yeah.
Oh, nna ke tsega bo Gen Z. Gen Z you are plugged in. Okay, you are connected. You are within. Re tsene.
Yeah, so she's within but Tom Dimo.
So when you should tell us hore
Yeah.
I kitse ke Gen mang older
The
age.
real one.
Yeah,
Hey,
Setswana re.
the real one. Ya rena Setswana ya re no one o tsene.
Okay.
Ba re kana ka Setswana o rutegile ha se rutega man. Ba re kana ba re etsang ngwana. Something it has bad. So. Ke tlo botsa re ba re etsang ngwana o irang ka nnete yo. Dumela ba gaitsi. Hey man re buile she Monday morning ba fanas.
Standard procedure.
Yeah, cause it's so hard to get now.
Welcome to the politics show.
Today. Politics, we are back again, man.
Yes.
Rnale.
Co-host Dumelang Bako Haye. Dumelang to all our listeners. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's another episode of the Politics Show. Politics Monday. I'm so excited.
Yes.
And as per standard, I have a background in political science and IR. And I'm so intrigued about politics, okay, and these conversations, hence why we are here. And today we'll be having very interesting discussions starting last Wednesday. How did you feel about that interaction? Because we have a lot to dissect and talk about. It was pretty interesting, but I'm very happy to be here. Thank you once again, Kgosi. I'm happy to be tag teaming with you. Hedile. Okay, why you put this kind of obvious?
Bang hedile. Let's think bang hedile. Go get headache. Go get tomatoes up. Past 7 to past 9, man.
Yes.
Today Monday political discussion. We're gonna be talking and what happened in the White House. And was it last week, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What happened in the White House at Hamudimo and now the Buaka Lintato Errol Musk. The man we see better. Like Errol Musk kiki papa Elon.
Yes.
Errol Elon. The way I bring naga ten shame is like it's again this person is like from somewhere. But he's white, so
I mean, what else is new?
What do you expect?
There's a lot of privilege. He speaks from a place of great privilege. So we'll definitely also be hearing from him and his perspectives on
because he had some interview with the BBC. BBC apparently has been accused by the Telegram, one of the right-wing publications, UK, or they are done playing the genocide thing. So, kita check a video Brian O'Reilly. He is one of the presenters of a radio station. ABC, something like that.
Okay.
ABC radio.
Yeah.
He's in from 12 until 10 until 1, I think.
Yes.
Every day. So he's very critical from Gaza to this one now. So he was actually shout or why are these people saying we are done playing? Let's talk the truth.
Yeah.
Trump lied about those crosses. Yes, he lied about those crosses.
And the evidence, the articles mole.
When?
Were not verified. They were not fact-checked. And I feel like it's very embarrassing as a whole president coming at the forefront, especially US president, because everybody will be tuning in to hear your views then and how the discussion goes.
Then it comes such things and then
that's not verified. It really is, because now
how do you do that to yourself as a whole president of a huge country like the US?
Yeah.
And then you come with a picture from Congo. But anyway, before because if you don't do this,
yes.
This show is brought to you by Segongane Medical Services and Clinic. They are a private clinic situated in number 70 Tuefengesgras in Westview, Danville. They specialize on the following: primary health care, ailment diagnosis and treatment, including medication, wound care, family planning, well baby clinic, basic ultrasound, laboratory blood services, treatment of chronic illnesses, treatment and management of patients on ARVs, wellness screening, antenatal clinic, HIV services and counseling. They have a pharmacy on site and they are doing CCMDD services as well, OHS clinic, circumcision clinic and abortion services. Their cell phone number is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Again, the address is 702 Fengersgras in Westview, Pretoria West in Danville. Cell phone number again is 064 548 7176 or 071 422 8576. Yes, that's our sponsor for today. So on the medical service and clinic, about medical 18, but I feel like 350 consultation and then their medicine is separate. So how so
and you know so so now you know where to go.
Yeah, then go please consult our credit card ube strong. Record orange please. You winter too.
Yeah, lady lemon, lady ginger, lady honey.
All that.
Like it's concoction motswako wa rena. Yeah.
Oh no fit. All right, Kadiwe.
Yes.
Welcome again.
Thank you very much and welcome to all our listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. Yeah, the politics show. You know, I feel like this, I don't know, a hook man. Yauri excited. Yauri now. Welcome ABC and D. We're gonna come up with something, you know, and then it'll be a tune. Hello, this. We're inside. So yeah, today we'll be discussing the engagement between Donald Trump and our very amazing president.
Give me yours. give me your opinion about this one. Okay. What happened? According to where? Now, what did you see?
Okay. So, for one, I'd have to talk about preparation. Yeah. Right. So, the point of that interaction, allegedly, because it seems like the point was not brought across. Yeah. But it was to, I guess, debunk this whole white genocide that's happening in South Africa. Yes. That's not the case. You say, Libona so, Huirala so, this is what's actually happening, right? Yeah. And Ramaphosa utlile di minister tsa haye atla le team ya haye ko rwetse atla le buka ya golf and it seems like it was already ish, and I want to use the right terms, but then it's like it was sucking up to the president.
Of course he was.
Okay.
Not it seems like he was sucking
and
up.
And there's a video where Trump and now I'm going to the very end where Trump was saying, guys, Ramaphosa untletse buka ntlela le aeroplane nyana to bontsha he didn't even appreciate, or it was such a that sentiment was not valued in any way. So I don't feel like the book served him in any way. Maybe now Troy user as a mechanism to say, you know what, go to the gifting and I say, hear me out. So there was that. I feel like the preparation to a degree, it was good. Hazen.
No.
Maybe you are going to be upset about that. Lady Golfer sitela
no.
Okay.
And the West of all. Yeah. Team Ella was not his, by the way.
Okay.
He was told to bring them.
Ish.
It was not his team. He didn't choose that team himself.
Yeah.
Is the best delegation. He was told by him, hey, bring Kgosi and then bring NLC and then bring Rupert.
Yeah. Yeah. But can we talk
about... I can't talk to black people only.
Yeah.
Let them be something else.
Let them be diverse. But can we talk about... So from my observation, right? So I feel as though, okay, Trump was doing most of the talking. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. We're going to see the video, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to watch it.
There's a video here. We're going to watch it. And those who are watching on Facebook, we are live. And then those watching on YouTube, we are live as well. Facebook, and then, but again, the Kgosi on live show, YouTube, right? Comment, please. Talk to us. Yeah.
Comment, engage. Please, let's hear your opinions. And what you felt. Or what you saw, okay? Because from me, I feel like Trump was doing most of the talking, okay? Yeah. And when it was time for Ramaphosa to speak, if it was just like his tendency to just be like politically correct or diplomacy or whatever. I don't know. But he, like Ramaphosa as well, was not really alive. Like you say, happy the answer man. Like he wasn't getting straight to the point. It was mainly like, you know, we value your benefits, your investments, and we want to encourage our trading. And I'm like, the point of this is to clarify after you've made it clear that there is no white genocide, then we'll talk about, now that we know who I don't know white genocide, can we talk about strengthening our trade relations? Can we make sure that our partnership continues as it's been, right? And I feel like every time Ramaphosa will no. But did you see the burial sites? Did you see if this people were singing this song, Kill the Boer? Right? However,
he even agreed with him. Rupert is not genocidal, he is.
How?
I was like,
all of a sudden now you can agree. Hey, he's listening. So I'm like, you know what? Considering that, I don't feel like Trump is too big-headed. Okay, you see black people, please give us the same respect. He'll act the way he wants. Whether please respect this. There's only black people, right? So for a strategic point of view, I feel like having the white people there to also observe and see the difference of but the
question is, do you think they care? For Boer, that's how it's supposed to be. Don't forget about singing through apartheid in Vanak. Who enjoyed apartheid's privileges, right? From the beginning up until the end. Let's not forget about that one. They didn't just change their mind 30 years ago. So, however he was spoken to by this one, he deserves it. Remember, he deserved it. He's a black man.
According to you, his idea is
he's just a black man, so who gives a damn?
I get the previous video about 14% of the mind of a 14-year-old. The black people have minds of a 14-year-old white boy. I'm like, so I guess it's evident in the conduct, and you'll see it for yourself. I feel like it was quite degrading, because you see this is a whole president, but you can respect Rupert more than the president just because of the skin color, right? But I feel like if there was any point that would have ever and actually get stuck in his mind was anything that would be said by a white person. Because Ramaphosa something, no. But did you see? Look at that video. Look at this article. Look at nothing is remaining, because of I feel like Ramaphosa as a black person has no substance or doesn't put anything of value. So from a strategic point of view, I'll honestly say that having a white person, there was a moment is like, you know what? Since you feel like now as a black president, here is a fellow white minister who's living in South Africa who has the same viewpoint. But
then the white minister thing, what did he say? He didn't even touch.
Like a MK.
It was like, Mr. President, these are rebels. No. We are fighting. So we end up having to come together so that we can be able to make sure these people are not in power. You know what?
He was pushing his own agenda, Moli.
Of course.
He was pushing that agenda.
So whether the white skin was there or not, didn't do much. So, I like it.
We're on opposite ends. No, I like that, because of anybody who's listening who agrees with me, at least you can resonate either Kgosi or Linda. So it's fine. We accommodate both people.
Hey, tell us what is your honest opinion, guys? Those who are listening to us on www.kgosietsile.
And on YouTube.
Tell us, please. Look at YouTube, look at Facebook who are watching us now. Tell us what is your honest opinion about what happened last week, right? We're here to debate, we're here to have fun about what is happening in this country. So tell us, what do you think? Do you think really what happened, Kantlela, was actually what? And was it strategic for him to bring white people there? Mara, he didn't bring his A-game team. He brought people he was told to bring. That one must be above everything. He was told to bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 done. Do not bring anybody else. Bring my people.
Who said that, Mara? Who did
Trump told him. Trump told him, hey, Mrena, no. Trump any else.
No, I remember when he said that.
In my offline video, I asked her, what is any else going to do there? Any else? Key golfer. Or Trump golf does not make. There is no state policy. Malema asked the same question. A whole minister, Lamula was there. Kubaga's intense relations. Answer even one word. One word.
That was so disappointing. So from a preparation point of view, I feel like we really did not meet the mark at all.
Yeah.
We also, because there was a point where he's like, I wish I had a slide to show you pictures as well. And he was laughing about it. I'm like, that means you were not prepared for this. Because if you were prepared, you'd come kadirisi. How parakapampirlo no paragaya how?
The worst thing, maybe I think they thought, Hori, we won't stoop to his level. No. A thug like Donald Trump, you don't play Lenega kid gloves. You come to his level.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
When I go low, you go low.
You go much lower. We saw what he did to Zelensky. I respect Zelensky. Do you know why?
What happened?
Because he stood his ground. Zelensky was shouted by the whole White House on the stage, live on TV. He stood his ground. You want me to give you my minerals? That's my country, and then you say you're gonna stop the Russian war. You can go or impay. Again, can go Biden. Zelensky was getting weapons and money and everything else.
Okay.
Sharp. So or normal. Rakat.
Okay.
So Arakata, when if you want us to help you, give us all your country's minerals for free. Let us come and mine your country for free, then we can stop the war. All I'd have. That's not bad. So Zelensky stood his ground.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, but I also feel like, and there was this meme that I also saw, and the meme was basically showing Trump on one side, and I think it was an Arabian or maybe president, I don't know, Dubai or
yeah.
But you know how they dress the robes. When you have the wealth and the backing, you don't even need to wear a suit and tie to meet what is deemed as civilized as a president. This is my culture, this is how I dress.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah, take it or leave it. We were already discussions clap to this meeting.
Yeah.
And it's because I have the backing, I have the wealth, I have the resources. I get
exactly.
So I feel like Zelensky has that when it comes to the riches and the wealth and the resources that they have. So and stand his ground.
Yes.
But Haley Ramaphosa no shata fela
did they show you, Mr. President? There was an ANC meeting that he was attending, especially after, that was the same time when he said Donald Trump must keep his American, he'll keep us as king of South Africa, remember?
Okay.
When the sanctions started.
Okay.
So he said something else. Take a listen.
I will tell him. I will say, you, Donald Trump, you are even worse because your forebears came to America. They found the native, the indigenous Americans. They wiped them out. They killed nearly all of them.
Yeah. So much confidence.
So did he tell him? Like, did he say, hey, when Donald Trump,
Tabela.
yeah, you are immigrant. No. Wasn't him boiling Ramaphosa king? Let me give you my opinion. That was the weakest performance ever can ever have from a state president, right? And what people have been asking, especially Americans, are we really are the other presidents seeing and looking at this? And by people, are they asking themselves, is it really worth it for us to go to the White House anymore?
Yeah.
To come and talk with this thug, Pila. Is it really worth it?
Absolutely.
So he thought he was, he's bullying and he's showing his power.
Yeah.
Can't he actually shoot himself in the foot, or I thought you can't come there anymore.
Yeah.
So we'll rather and that's about the first against America, right? Now he's after Europe.
Yeah.
Did you hear?
Yes. He's like, Europe has not helped me got anything, so I don't need to partner with them.
So America is just a little country. It's a 51 state country. It's not the whole world, by the way.
Yeah.
The whole world is big out there.
Yeah.
So if they will isolate him,
there's so much power.
The man is crazy. This person on the screen that you're watching, let me just go to that screen, that big one. Yeah, this person is stupid. He's the stupidest president America ever produced. What's happening? Biden was weak. Biden was weak, it's a fine. Biden was a proxy shame.
Yeah.
The person was going to ruin that America was Obama that time.
Yeah.
But at least, he at least he was, but where now? He's a thug. And we put all the heavy money.
Yeah.
And he's been put by the nose by a small boy like Elon Musk. Imagine, of all the people, Elon Musk, this boy holds me Pretoria.
Imagine.
Because I bought myself a presidency.
Hare left, we go left. Hare right, we go right.
Before you go to the video, there's another scandal that came out. You know what was on earlier?
Okay.
It has been uncovered, allegedly.
Okay.
Let's protect ourselves.
Yes.
Allegedly. Yeah. Allegedly. Yeah. You see the reason of the tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why? Tariffs are there.
Mm-hmm.
Tariffs are there to every country that is refused Elon Musk's businesses
Okay.
in his own terms. Like now, Jiggy, you're having hey, Starlink is at the next back and net today. To portfolio committee, even Chabeni herself said there's no talks about Starlink's coming here. Hi, is going to have to do what other companies have done. So apparently, allegedly, Donald Trump goes and tells the people that, listen, you want me to reverse the tariffs?
Yeah.
You must allow Tesla to open up. And you must allow Starlink to be your primary your primary internet service provider.
Okay.
Mari, its conditions are terrible. Because I want to know news card.
Starlink must be the primary internet provider?
Service provider, yes. Like boer and the rest of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Mari, they've got such conditions in Lejon. You will never allow them in your country.
Are ridiculous.
Imagine, okay. Then Starlink must come, but it must have tax exemption for 10 years.
What am I benefiting?
Let it sink. It must not be taxed for 10 years.
Oh, that is an insane.
It must be the primary user service in a military, and they must have access to the radar. Everything's a military.
No
Starlink.
way.
So this nonsense can just turn off.
Oh my god.
Turn on.
Oh my goodness. And that's why I think Rosie and Malema was saying we do not want Starlink more.
Yeah,
do not accept it. Because if Baka tap into our radio systems and the frequencies.
They want in return 100% exemption of tax for 10 years. Starlink excluded from ICASA regulations. So it's not going to be controlled by ICASA. Right, you can say, tweet, because you're going to say, hey, when ICASA like a penalty. But when they can do whatever they want, ICASA cannot touch them.
God. Okay.
Starlink data centers, imagine, to remain offshore and untouchable.
Hi, bo.
Yeah. So whatever information that they have, that they take,
yes,
in the cable,
oh my goodness.
Right to intercept and reroute any national communication. Wow. During network emergencies. The last one, control over public banking and military digital channels while using Starlink in like infrastructure.
There is no way.
Yeah. So that is why, guys, Batwana were very tariffs Baba Khaneng, who refuses this thing. And they were tariffed, they were Toko China but I know he's going after Apple.
Apple must now, or something.
Yeah, they must start making iPhones for America. Apple we're gonna make 1 million units a year.
Yeah.
Now we're making like 50 or 10 units a year because it's manufactured, packed, and then bring back to America. It's a finished product. We just sell, and it's cheaper to do go China, whatever. Let them go. What them to Atuna forever most shame. Wow, face 4 years and the damage is doing to the US now. Yeah.
Yo, it's so detrimental. Yo, those T's and C's are insane. Wait, it feels like a fourth revolution or like but how can we take over the world?
Yeah.
And the way in which already they have the weapon on lock, they have the greatest weapons, and now they have the strongest economy. Now it's like, let's make sure they don't have connectivity, or we shut down, we can connect to the banking system. The military. Everything that should be the most confidential thing. They cannot have access to those things. So that was definitely an attempt to take over every other country. And Asal.
Yeah, Asal is anyway, the number is 0645487776 and then 06969247. Talk to us if you want to talk to us about what happened. What do you think about today's topic? What do you think about today? So talk about that video. Re tlo ntse re pause mo gare wa getšho ne re tlhalosa seo because it's 19 minutes long, so I can't play the whole thing until so I'm going to be pausing it in between
as we go along.
And then please talk to us. What do you think, Lena, about today's topic? To work out what happened in the White House. Honest opinion. What do you think what happened in the White House? How was the performance of our beautiful president, Mr. Rams? Cupcake. How did he perform? Now he performed dismal. Zero out of 0. Yeah, he embarrassed me, man. No, I'm very strict. He shouldn't have gone in the first place.
No.
He shouldn't have gone there. Only Minister of Communication, only Minister of Foreign Affairs. I miss it. I go to Rasul. Appoint another ambassador, ambassador.
And honestly, this could have been done virtually.
Yes, simple.
There was no need to fly all these people that side if the conversation was going to happen.
Let him
like
go,
this.
right? Let him go, but stand your ground.
Yeah.
Be a man. All right, I'm Did they show you what that was, Mr. President? With that, this little child thing. Did they show you what? Lena, I don't know. Lena, what's the name? I want to know what that is. I'm like, Malema, I know this country like a back of my head.
It really made us look soft and weak and fragile. If you're there was a time where I was like, first time I discovered Putin, I was like, now this president, I will not mess with their country. You will not just move around and do whatever you want. Have
you seen the way he walks?
I haven't. Oh yeah. How? Yeah,
no, one arm is always still, the other one is stationary.
Sure.
Like that's a KGB training. Yeah. The other arm is all next to the gun.
Always like that.
Next to the gun. The right one next to the gun. So this one will walk.
He's always ready.
Exactly.
And that's a president that you respect.
Yeah, that you can actually be with. Saying, okay, president, that now. That's one I can admire. I can say, you're my president.
Yeah.
Because you can stand, you can say, son. Xi Jinping, we'll go 10. Same.
Yeah.
You come got 10%, I'm going to put 15. Or 15, you got 55. Do you remember the game? It went up to 20 and something.
Yeah.
And China was like, okay, let's put it like that, it's fine.
Let's keep going.
We manufacture each and everything that you guys are consuming.
Us. And it's like they call the bluff. It's like we see Trump or tariffs, but you know that you need us.
And you know what he's doing? He he always comes to. I want to guess it got lights go America. How about gaslight? You see, the gas is down.
Yeah.
The price of food is down. That means the money is coming back. Then Allah said, no, go to the grocery store and see. It's empty. Anyway, let's go to the video. So this is the meeting that took place in the White House last week. Was it last week, right? I just forgot the date.
It was Wednesday.
Was it Wednesday?
Yes.
Yeah. Check out the.
This was the 21st.
The 21st. Yeah. So our president went there to go and speak. But then he said he went there to talk about trade and bilateral stuff. Yeah, but then he found this person waiting for him and his people. They would embarrass him. They did embarrass him. He embarrassed me. He embarrassed us. So
you embarrassed on his behalf.
When yes, so I was like, Jesus.
That's so disappointing. On your behalf, because it's like how it's. I understand the approach of respect, but you can be respectful and assertive.
Okay, what
does that mean?
The same stature as me. Right?
Yeah.
You are a president and a president as well.
Yes.
How don't this be 70 in your company? It doesn't work like that. That's like Zelensky. He stood his ground. No. You're not gonna bully me like that.
Yeah.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Even hey, South Africa when I'm like, okay,
yeah. Yeah.
Even
later in Tabaya G20, he's like, oh yeah, so it's going to be held here. And he's like, yes, I mean, yeah, it's going to be in South Africa. And right after, it's going to be held at we're going to hand over the baton and we're going to honor you.
Did you see that?
It's going to come back to you. You know what I mean? As if it's like, opportunity. So we're going to hand you back the honor and the person who can handle hosting the G20. I'm like, we it's a bit too much.
That was too much.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go to the video.
What would it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for the President. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. It will be.
Our President will respond to you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us on the quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But, Mr. President, I must say that we have, we have thousands of stories talking about it.
Sure.
And we have documentaries, we have news stories, and that. Is Natalie here, somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things, and
Okay. Let's first take that little segment.
Yeah.
It will take the white people that you say we must bring for you to believe what I say.
Yeah.
As a president of a country. Okay, now I can't repeat myself over and over again, but it will take the words of your good friends in the country.
Yeah.
Who happen to be white.
Yes. So
that is not the response of a president. You could have just kept quiet. That question was to Trump. What will it take for you to actually accept? Oh, there's no genocide in South Africa.
Yeah.
What will it take for you to accept there's nothing?
And we could have piggybacked from his answer and say, oh, you want to hear it? Okay, Ashiba. And that was actually the perfect moment.
That was
to
weakness
understand.
At its best. It will take you listening to white people telling you, okay, listen, this is what it is. Because now I can't repeat myself. I mean, what
it takes you hearing the experiences of all the Afrikaners and the white people and how they suffer and how they're not suffering. I really wish Trump answered that.
Yeah. Even after saying that, did he listen? No. He keep on continuing.
Yeah.
There's documentaries. There is this documentary thing done by white right wingers. Really?
Yeah.
That says to you there's something like this. That was the weakest point in this person's presidency. This one. Cupcake. This one. The weakest of everything.
I really feel like maybe I suggest something more concrete. Like for him, okay, fine. If he really was adamant to answer that question, then he should have said, we will show you the evidence. Hey, like based on people, like black people also who speak on this discussion. Is saying he must just listen to these people. Like that's not concrete enough.
Or the simple answer. It will take his CIA intelligence
doing the research,
to do the thorough work to know there's nothing like that in South Africa happening.
Ooh, actually put it back to him.
Exactly. It will take his CIA, not whatever he saw on X. I blame life.
But as we said, Trump knows. Trump knows. So if we're going to put it in his CIA as a responsibility to say, do the research, but this is what we found. I guess they know there is no genocide. So once he sees it, he'll ever admit to the fact that, okay, so CIA only a few white people were killed. Therefore, no, it's fine. Wrong. I don't think I've ever heard Trump admit that he's wrong. And I don't think we'll ever see that.
How can he, when he has people like this one sucking up to him every day? How can he really wrong
and
when he's not even told? This is not supposed to be done.
And he loves asserting himself as the savior. I get it. So right now he's like, Europe has done nothing for me. I'm always there. I'm always ready to help people. And it boosts his ego to say every country is dependent on me for sustainability and I'll be there to help. You know, I'm a helper. I like helping people.
Trump is a term president. He mustn't speak as if he's a king. Only Charles can say that. He's a king from ever since he was young until he is now old. He's staying in like his cat. At least he's in that leadership. He can say that. Trump is a seasonal president. What months in for is again. Just like last time.
Yeah.
And then somebody else. As I will see what's working, he's going to be in the US forever.
Yeah.
But now for now, this was the weakest one, eh? Ramzazas.
Ramazwizi.
The number is still
disappointing.
The number is still 064548-776. When I talk to us, please talk to me. Go WhatsApp. What do you think about today's topic? What do you think about what happened in Rwanda?
Yes,
so I'm going to continue
dissecting. The question on YouTube. Yeah. How do you feel about Ramaphosa and his conduct and his responses? Please listen carefully.
Even or performance. Conduct performance and conduct in that White House. What do you guys think about that one? Disgusting. Come on, let's continue.
It has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the article.
Yeah, Tom and reads.
But
sabotage. But sabotage. So, what do you think, Elona, guys, about what's happening? What happened in that White House?
Yeah.
Tell us 064-548-7176.
And I feel like Ishman, as much as Cupcake is like he's a friendly guy generally, but then there was a lot of smiling and giggling and laughing and kicking, and
there was too much kissing,
like a lot of it was coming across as clownery, and it's like Mara. Like as a president, yes, you can be friendly, but you need to assert yourself as somebody who respect. You know,
you
the clown of the classroom. How much is it?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, how do you take something like that, someone like that serious, if anything is serious? Doesn't take himself serious, how then should you do that?
Yeah.
You can't. Because Tom, why would you? He shouldn't have gone there. I'm still saying it again. He shouldn't have gone there in the first place. There is no other reason why you are supposed to go there. Did you not see? Can we say our intelligence? Didn't they know beforehand? Don't go there. Or go there and stand your ground.
I wouldn't say or Asaya. I just wish that he handled it differently. I just wish he was better prepared with choosing as well and saying, you know what, if we're going to do this, then I'm going to bring A, B, C, and D. Also be decisive with who you want to bring. You know what, the president, I want to keep our relationship solid.
Yes.
So let me bring, okay, I wouldn't say Malema.
That's what I like about him. He was going to say the truth. I better keep your
Okay, like, I don't know, somebody maybe from Goody, from whatever, any other party, a solid argument. I present our guys. I want to clarify this to the president. She research and I'm gonna say it exactly like this. Give those people the platform because we have Bola Mola who said nothing. There was no point in a substitute.
Yeah,
everybody who went there to support South Africa who was silent should have not been there.
Yeah.
That's my stance.
Yeah.
Not the whole meeting at large, but rather the people who decided, hooray, yeah, put me on that flight. Lena, I want to be in that room. Minister IRA has made it to this meeting, but then all they had to say was nothing.
I'm gonna get this video pila download and then streamer because I want them to hear this thing.
They have to.
I want them to hear this thing because I do have it. Mona. But the number is still 064-548-7760. If you want to talk to us, please talk to us. What do you think about today's topic? I do know how we do have on the internet. Somehow, or some things we don't smooth them the way we would like to be, but the message is coming through.
Yes,
and those who are listening on radio, and then those who are still some buffering, YouTube and Facebook, and I apologize for that. We apologize for that. Tata, we're going to be fixing it in a minute, and then because I want you guys to listen to this video, I want you to listen to this video. I think I've got it here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save it. And then we can upload it down there. It will still show on the thingy.
Yes, just so people on YouTube can tune in.
Yeah.
But according to you, yes, no, when I okay, Ramaphosa should have not been there holistically, right?
Yeah.
But if we were to be a bit more lenient, is there anything that you would say? Okay,
positive came out?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Any positive feedback?
No, there's none.
Everything.
There's none.
I mean, there were points where, I feel like he lacked structure in his argument, right? He should have said, hey, Thomas Sharp, thank you. You blessed us with the honor of coming to your White House, Sharp. It was great. I'm so happy. Formalities, your introduction, right?
Yeah.
Sharp. Wait, and get straight to the point. Fine. You said you brought us here to clarify this matter. Right? So this is the experience of South Africa. Bring your evidence here. SABC has been following this. Bring solid footage. The way Trump had a structure. Get your video. Get your the article. Ramaphosa could have done the same thing and said, what's again? Ashi video. Like brought the evidence across and then let Trump respond.
Where's the problem in Limafan? Yes, they should have done that.
Yeah,
it's
the
fine.
Structure was just lacking. But then I don't feel as though we can't half a point. Economy, the trade relations, partnership, it's improve. Like the only part enough is enough is when he quoted Nelson Mandela like all the time before everything. Before everything. So for the before Lins and Lane, because I know a lot of people sharp were like Nelson Mandela, a hero, great person in history, did great things for us, sharp. However, my issue is just that, for example, Kgosi asks me, how do we do peace relations? It's like Nelson Mandela unrutile hore peace where we need to sit together and discuss A, B, C, and D. And it's like any person could know or how do you establish peace without having been taught by Mandela. Somebody who doesn't even know about Mandela knows how to establish peace through communication, Yeah. I just felt as though, yes, if you want to give credit to, a very first black president, that's great. Do it in the beginning. But you can't attribute every reasoning after that and said because Nelson Mandela was in ABC and D, so I'm following in his footsteps.
I think maybe he was trying to bribe his way into that. He was trying.
Let's use that figure. Mandela. Everybody loves him. So let's throw in his name as much as possible to give us leverage in this argument.
I get it. So they'll say, no, let's just try to put this figure up there so that people can actually, 100 mention Mandela, maybe this man will actually have some leverage, on us.
Nelson Mandela, we're South Africa, such a great place. Let's do it in honor of Mandela.
Let's do that and see.
Just because of he did this, let's make sure we can do. And it's like, you're the new president. Ramaphosa, Mandela did what he did, which is great. You're the new president. Talk about your attributes and your contributions and why you deserve to be respected in this moment.
And then we can be able to respect you. If there's any respect to be given, we'll give the respect to our time because at least we want to learn in a sense.
Yeah.
Let me try something.
Okay.
Can you be able to get this one?
Hopefully, because that's a downloaded version, right?
Yeah, I think this is... Yeah, there we go. It's on the screen. I'm good.
Awesome. We are back.
Yeah, it's on the screen. I see this one. Into at least it's an offline version of that video. So at least they will be able to play it, and we can be able to see it as well. So
thank you very much, everyone. It's a great honor to be with the President of South Africa, President Ramaphosa. And he is a man who is certainly in some circles really respected, other circles a little bit less respected, like all of us, in all fairness, like all of us.
We all like that.
We also have a few of my friends. Ernie Els, a great golfer. He's a truly great golfer. And Retief Goosen, who's another really, we call him really a great golfer too, Ernie, right? You two guys are fantastic. And we could add Gary to the group, Gary Player. What a group of golfers South Africa's had.
Yes.
There must be something in the water, right? It's something good. These two guys are
it's
unbelievable.
It's the water, sir.
Yeah, Gary.
What is that?
Okay.
It's the water, sir.
I have to. Yo, but it's the water.
How do you do that?
How? Okay, now I have to start by saying, because you know, we have Ramaphosa over here, but respected in some areas. In some areas, not respected. Or by the way, I have no respect for you.
Sanitizer, like all of us. You know? Like all of us.
And laugh about it. Like, I feel like if it was the Zelensky or Putin or someone else would be like, can you say that again? Or among respect, like, or I would say, do you respect me? Like, take it back to the seriousness of the fact that we're talking about the weight of respect here. And if Utori not respected and be like, I mean, as so all of us, you know, sometimes we also not respect. I aid and not telling. I mean, all of us, you know. But like,
yeah.
Okay.
So
not everything is a laughing matter. No. Not everything is.
I just want you guys to look at the face of this man. What do you see a president there?
I do.
No, I don't. No, I don't see a president there. I see somebody.
How does the president look like according to you?
Zelensky.
Zelensky.
You sit there with your own authority. You remember when you are president, right? You go to another country.
Yeah.
You don't only represent yourself.
Yeah.
But when the whole people of your country, correct? The respect that people will give you back home depends on whatever you do outside.
You're a representative.
So do you think people are not going to respect this person? No. Sorry. Let's continue. The videos here. I will tell 064 548 176 069 692 4788.
Gary's Gary. And David Frost, also another one that I know is such a great one. Was he as good a putter as they say, David? He's a putter. He's a putting machine, right?
Absolutely.
But he's another one. So something very good about South Africa in golf, and golf is still doing great in South Africa. And they have young players, I hear, coming up that are going to be very good. But it's an honor to have you here, and my friend, it's an honor to have you, one of the greatest businessmen in South Africa and long beyond. Thank you for being here. It's a very, very great honor. Appreciate it. So we're going to be discussing certain things. As you know, we have the G20 is going to South Africa. When is that going to be?
In November.
In November.
And thereafter, I hand over to you.
And yes, we have it next.
You originated the G20, so I'll hand over the baton to you, and then you lead the G20 in the world.
We're going to have it the following year.
Yeah.
I get our very own well-respected president over there. That I'm not proud of. I wouldn't proudly.
Do you know how to swear? Like, do you know how to swear? Like,
let's focus.
What? I've said enough.
It's so disappointing.
I've said enough. Like, whoever watched this video,
originated the G20.
Like what? Like what's with the sucking up?
There's a lot.
What's with the sucking up? Like, the 2020 is yours. That it's yours. I have to hand over to you. I have to hand over to you. Like, the 2020 is yours.
You're the originator, so we'll hand the baton over back to you.
Typical.
Wow.
Typical. I'm sorry, but typical.
So we'll be discussing many things, and some of the things you've been reading about in the papers and the media. And I would say that, look, the president is a truly respected man in many, many circles, and in some circles he's considered a little controversial. But we're going to be discussing some of the things that are taking place in South Africa and see if we can help. And we want to help. And we've had a long relationship with South Africa. I have, because indirectly I have so many friends that live there. I have a lot of friends. I mean, these are famous guys, but I have a lot of friends that live there that are tremendous people. And we'll be discussing that. We'll have a nice conversation. And I really appreciate that you guys came along. It really helps us in our thought process. But it is a great honor to have you, and I appreciate you called. He called. I don't know where he got my number, but I picked up. And he said, I want to come over and see you. And that was my honor, and thank you very much for being here.
You're most welcome.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much for welcoming us to this reformed White House. I've been here before, and it looks really fantastic. I must congratulate you.
Thank you.
But I also thank you for allowing our delegation. This is a very mixed delegation that you've got. We've got people from government, my ministers. I've got someone from the trade union movement who we really collaborate with, and from business as well, and our sporting legends. When I spoke to you, you said, yes, come along and bring Gary Player, bring any else.
There we go.
Person. I've brought the two of them.
Gary Player,
I spoke to him. And he said, look, I'm getting rather on in my years, but wishes us luck in this discussion with you. So it's a real joy. And I'd also like to thank you for allowing your people to start discussions with us at the trade level. I mean, we are essentially here to reset the relationship between the United States and South Africa. We are long-standing partners in many, many ways. We've collaborated in many fields, in space issues, in energy, and in trade, and we therefore need to reset that, particularly in the light of some of the announcements that you made on trade and investment. So we want to advance more trade between the two of us, our two countries, and our people now have been empowered by yourself and by myself to start engaging, and we hope that we will be able to fuel that engagement during our talks. And we also want to discuss issues that have to do with how we promote further investments in both countries. We've got about 22 companies from South Africa that have invested in the US, thus creating a number of jobs. And similarly, you've got almost 600 companies that have invested in South Africa, and some of them have been in South Africa for more than 100 years.
That's true.
So our links are really long-lasting, and we would like to recalibrate those relations between our two countries and discuss a whole range of issues, geopolitical, the work that you're doing to bring peace around the world, in Ukraine and in the Middle East. So we value that, and we are also a great contributor to peace processes that are going on around the world. And of course, we want to discuss how we can support each other. You are a much bigger economy than we are. We're just a tiny economy, but we rely on each other on a number of issues. We've got critical minerals that you want to fuel the growth of your own economy and reindustrialize. So we have that on offer, including
What? Did I hear an offer? Did you hear an offer?
Yeah. Len, I'm wondering what offer is that?
We have critical minerals that you need, that you have that on offer.
Yeah.
Can't you play pila mo like what?
What is happening? What's the core of this?
Not really. Like,
Yeah.
we have that on offer.
I'm reading an article here from BBC and it says, so Ramaphosa was looking for a trade deal
For himself. Yes.
desperately needing the business instability this would bring to South Africa to stimulate real and lasting economic growth and put people back to work. We are addressing this joblessness issue, and at the forefront, Trump is trying to hear the whole debunking of white genocide, and you keep bringing up about how, you should continue investing in us so that we create jobs, so that we are able to deal with the violence issues, which, yes, is a matter of concern, but I feel like he's not addressing the matter at hand. Hesh.
I get well 064548776. This is not on when I was I'm looking for that other one with the parking or British right at get down the video and then we can play it offline like
Okay.
Then we can the second segment. I can know still got a second segment there if it's a show. Because we're gonna play the whole thing, right?
Yeah, it's too long.
We just want Pila more but Tomba Tendilo.
Mortgage documents and
no, I swear now when I as not about Cyril. They had like a defect when they bring facts.
Oh, do you want the part where when Stian isn't speaking or Rupert is speaking? I see if they okay, yeah.
Hey, Lebone, your president's performance. Yeah.
What's a refugee in America?
now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road you have crosses. Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. I don't. Okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa. That's where.
Okay. Did you
find out?
Yeah,
did you hear that?
We get the gist.
Like, did you hear that?
It's painful to watch.
Where is this? I don't know, but this is South Africa. Doesn't matter. We are talking about facts that have been checked and checked and checked and checked if they are true or not.
So long as it's in South Africa, that was in Limpopo, that is in the Western Cape. Oh, no, where was this from?
South Africa.
What is it? Yeah,
it might be.
My journalist said it's happening here.
Yeah.
It could have been. And I feel like had he dropped a name, for example, Adropa R. Alexandra, Morito Makwa, like even one white person, that would immediately debunk this video to be false.
Yeah.
But yet he couldn't even back to show that the evidence that was presented in this interview or conversation was really not solid enough to make it a fair point to say, yeah, white genocide is really happening. How do you justify this? Because, some people are saying Trump had an ambush and it was stacked and it was great. However, to a degree, we can also say, attempt Trump to get an ambush Ramaphosa was not really as solid considering the evidence that he brought. Wasn't there somebody who's saying that allegedly some of the documents was about Congo and not about South Africa?
Not allegedly, this. After this is going to be bringing this stack of papers to show Bonang. One of them there, I'm going to post it there. Where Bonoriki, it's not from here. it's a burial site, Yabasadiko Congo, who were buried, being killed by prisoners who escaped from prison. So there was a mass grave of women who were buried, who were raped and killed by those prisoners, and then they were buried there.
Sure.
Yeah. Anyway, look at that face. It's like one of the it's like one of the it's called man.
Oh, shy.
I'm so embarrassed, you know.
Maybe offers a two-wheeler glass, but level, we do it.
Yeah.
You need to look the other way.
Those who are watching on Facebook, you're enjoying yourselves. Yeah.
You're getting to see it in 4K. Bamo radio. Yeah. It's sad.
Mark, this is going to be on our live tab, more YouTube, and I will actually upload it again on the normal tab, video tab.
Okay, awesome.
Some people are not used to the live tab thingy, so they like to watch it
video.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll do that.
Okay.
Let's continue.
Those people. Okay.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced that it would be accepting
Sorry,
jets
evidence.
to Air Force One.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Respond.
You know, you to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatar jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay?
Okay, this was when one of the ABC Imutisaka, the jet he got from Gitari, right? No, not Gitari, from some Middle Eastern country. They give him a jet, and then he says it's for the Air Force. So he was rude to this journalist as well. But sorry, he's a jerk. He was calling him names, yo.
An idiot,
and
this
all
dumb
those.
person. He called him incompetent. You're useless, or when a journalist.
So anyway, it's fine. Let's jump to this one here. The so-called evidence.
Yeah.
Situation that we've just seen on the screen.
I don't know. Look, these are articles over the last few days. Death of people. Death. Horrible death. Death. I don't know. To pick anyone, white South Africans are fleeing because of the violence and racist laws. And this is all, I mean, I'll give these to you. So when you say, what would I like to do? I don't know what to do. Look at this. White South African couples say that they were attacked violently. And
President Trump, when will you go and see?
That's the one.
Okay.
That is the one, Congo. That is the aid workers and everything that burial site Congo Bali.
Sure.
Yeah. This is what's happening.
Tennis mutano screen grabber this. I romele na mo email.
No.
By the way, it's not about South Africa. So
yeah. Each and every news outlet in the world is laughing at him. That how can the almighty President of the United States, who has the best intelligence in the whole world, cannot know this is a lie?
And he's saying it with so much confidence and conviction.
Death. Absolutely.
Well, I could do that. Look, here's burial sites all over the place. They're all...
And he still says, burial site over. This is Congo, Trump. Man. But how did somebody get to this point? Like, seriously.
Verify. That's when the standards of how to be a president needs to be raised. Yeah. I think that should be in the next episode of our podcast. What should it take to be a president? Because if you look at the history of the presidents that we have had, and if you were to say this was a great example of a president, then we can say they have these attributes. And as a president, you need to an interview or in this CV, we be to the nation.
All those things because really,
the credits were like,
at least,
are you really deserving of this? Because you're going to have to represent us in front of the world.
Yeah.
And that's the dignity of every citizen. That the weight that you're carrying on your shoulders.
Yeah.
So I feel like it needs to be raised because this is not it.
These are all white farmers that are being buried. And he asks about
in Congo. White farmers in Congo.
A jet that was given. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You know, you are so bad. You're such a bad reporter. This is one after another. This family was wiped out. I'm just looking.
Can we get a response from President Ramaphosa, please?
Reaction to those videos, Mr. President?
Yes, I want your reaction.
Well, I think the videos are so. No. When you look at the videos, I mean, how does it get worse? And these are people that are officials, and they're saying that kill the white farmer and take their land. That's what it is. And I have other friends in South Africa. I have people that left. One in particular that says you can't go there. He said they want to take your land. They take your land and they kill you. It's okay, and they say it's okay to do. Now we're going to talk about it. But this is a tremendous look. This is a story recent. These are all people that recently got killed.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it can get any worse. These are and you know the men that you saw, the people that you saw in that movie, those are officials. Those are people that were in office. They had one march. They had a dance in your parliament, whatever you may call it, legislature.
Well, let me clarify that.
Yeah.
Let me clarify that because what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a
what Ramaphosa means more work. They played the video of Malema work. But there is snippets of different Malema speeches. How we're gonna take land and blah blah.
All
blah,
the
blah.
negative.
Yeah, and then they made it into this big hoo-ha.
Yes.
Do you understand?
So can we, those who are listening, please listen to what he's saying carefully.
Yeah.
Can we at least say this was some positive things that he said in this whole interview? Because be gracious and say, okay, at least the more he was clear, he said, point one. Or he's about to say something factual. Hopefully.
Mare, what factual is he going to say? It's not government policy.
He's going to clarify.
What's not government policy? Expropriation with without compensation. It is part of government. Why should he say it's not government policy?
Because he needs to clarify these things to him. No, policy.
Listen to this.
A multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying, even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party, which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you allow them to take land.
Well, he cut him.
Allow them to take land.
Nobody can
and then
take
when
land.
they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is quite...
Nothing happens to them.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately, through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now been utilized.
The farmers are not black. I don't
now
say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites, and those are people that loved ones going, I guess on a Sunday morning, they told me, to pay respect to their loved ones that were killed. Their heads chopped off. They died violently, and you know, I mean, we're here to talk about it, and I didn't know we'd get.
Why didn't he just stop him and say, no, you are wrong? Those are not grave sites.
Yes.
Remember, he didn't know. What was that?
I think there was a lot of things that NASA defects. So it's hard to rectify.
Lamola should know. Okay? Nchabeni should know. Stenesi should know. Anybody else should know. But he debates.
Also, that's why I get it. For the preparation, they could have had a journalist among them. And you know, you just want the minister, you just want the Bakosatu, you just want these high standard people that don't even know the context of like the situation where you could have corrected it and said, oh no, that's not the case. Bring a journalist who's done the research. Okay, clarify that actually that's not what it is.
Where's it the Western game? There were journalists there by most Africa.
Were they not given the platform to speak then? Because they could have just said.
Sharon Bryce Peace was there. Tini Madia was there. Tini actually had an interview after this thing and she actually clarified everything.
Oh, but just give these people the opportunity.
Why is it going into a ranking? Why are you going in the first place? That's the problem.
Now I'm just like, you know what? If he felt, because I feel like he's a representative, right? And if you feel like he's thinking, I'm going to be a representative, but I don't feel equipped or confident enough to look Ramaphosa in the eye and tell him these things, it was easier said than done to be like, right? And then you come here and you can't do it. Fine. You have a set of people that, like Trump, he was saying, you know, do you want to say something? Do you want to say something? As a president, you have the opportunity and the power to say, somebody can speak on my behalf and answer that. Here's my journalist who knows exactly what's happening. Just say point. Unlike sitting there feeling so defenseless without having anything to say. So that's the part that's quite disappointing. That refer to people.
064548126 0696924.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder what happened here in White House was something else.
And can we talk about how he's always speaking over him? Here, no. Let me clarify. It's like, well, no, people are dying. But it's like...
He even went further to ask Corey, why wasn't Malema arrested? For what? Malema get arrested for what? Like, why would you arrest Malema for him? Arrested for what? Like, I can understand. Why would you arrest him? Why do you arrest him for what?
Just for chanting that.
Aye, man. Okay, let's continue. Shame.
Involved here, but I will say this, that if the news wasn't fake, like NBC, which is fake news, totally one of the worst, ABC, NBC.
The irony.
Yeah.
But
the irony.
Fake news like this jerk.
He's talking about fake news when he presented fake news.
No, how about Motaneti? Yeah, he's presenting a fake news, but then other people fake news. He's
calling out, what a perfect display
of narcissism. Like to the highest order.
Oh my goodness. And being misinformed. You're calling somebody out for fake news when you are presenting fake news.
Yourself.
At some point, Trump needs to be able to apologize and admit when he's wrong, because I'm sure he's going to see all these news outlets and just decide who we're taking. I get the journalist. He will never take accountability.
Yeah, but Trump doesn't care.
At all.
That is the problem. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. Whatever you say doesn't make any difference. If you look at a different opinion,
at all.
He doesn't care.
Sure.
My question still remains the same. Why did they go there for? Ramaphosa especially. Now batangwa. Because in this video, when it goes on, the worst thing is when Rupert was speaking, Trump listened and agreed.
Yeah, I want us to fast forward to
crime.
that.
Yes, there's crime and everything. He agreed.
Yeah, please, let's fast forward to the part where Rupert is speaking, because then we see he is not going to speak over him. He's going to start his sentence, finish his train of thought, and Trump will just be listening the entire time.
Yeah.
And here it was so interesting when I heard like people's feedback. But of course, Trump with all the people that are richer than him, because apparently his worth is 5 billion and Rupert is 14 billion.
It's 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah.
So obviously, well respected man. Give a platform. Mara Ramaphosa, I read net worth here. Ramaphosa king. Mara.
That's a 10. No, it's a 10. I think it's less than Trump.
Surely.
Yeah.
That's why.
Unless it's on the papers.
They have their wealthy, they businessmen. So, remember,
Happy Rupert on the British Tobacco, American Tobacco Company.
No wonder it's booming. No wonder it's so successful. 14 billion. Oh my gosh.
Fake news in this country doesn't talk about that. They don't want to talk about it, but now they have to talk about it. But they won't. This won't even be a subject. They'll have him talking about why did a country give a free, think of this, why did a country give an airplane to the United States Air Force? Okay, the United States, not to me, to the United States Air Force, so they could help us out. Because Air Force One, it's being built. The United States Air Force. That's what that idiot talks about after viewing a thing where thousands of people are dead.
I'm sorry, I don't have a plane to give you.
Oh, shit.
I would take it. If your country offered the United States Air Force a plane, I would take it.
Okay. But coming back to this issue, which I really would like us to talk about, and talk about it very calmly. We were taught by Nelson Mandela that whenever there are problems, people need to sit down around a table and talk about them.
Well, there are problems.
And this is precisely what we would also like to talk about, including, of course, trade matters, investment matters. So the issues that concern you as the United States.
Those are all recent. And those are all deaths.
Yeah, in many ways, I mean, one should say you are a partner of South Africa, and you are raising concerns, and these are concerns that we are willing to talk to you about. Let me just add quickly, you know, the criminality that we are experiencing in our country needs quite a lot of technological capability. And in one of our areas in South Africa, we're using US technology, which is able to, in many ways, identify where shootings are happening and all.
Isn't him, in a way, trying to put in Starlink? Oh, sorry. Hey?
I am so out of words.
South Africa, we are on our own, but isn't his way of trying to technology, South African, American technology?
It's like bring whatever. Because with they could quote this line and say, "You wanted technological advancements."
Starlink just said,
we'll
give it to the rural. I don't know by pointers. We'll give it to rural areas.
Yeah, if you do this, we'll do that. If you could, I'm so disappointed at the approach. Hence why, yo guys, we need to have more qualified presidents because
Cupcake needs to go.
If your intention right now is to point out all of my faults, and I have to just present to just remember, I need you to help me get ABC, help me get ABC did. How is that debunking what we came as? Again, going back to your question, what did you go there to do? Because if you keep on making these requests, like I am here to point out your flaws and say, you guys are killing my people. Trump, that's his white people. So now if you're going to have this approach of, remember, I need help for this, please assist me with this, it's not a progressive discussion.
It's not at all.
Where we go?
I'm sorry, but this one, more it was preparation as Starlink. All of a sudden, Starlink, they will try to bring relax and regulations, say, to accommodate. What the? I told you earlier. Okay, at the moment, whatever country is facing tariffs at Trump, he's been told either they let Starlink in, and Tesla in, and any other Elon Musk's company, because Europe wanted to cancel X, by the way, and he could Europe, he's gone. That whole 25 billion X gonna go down the drain. So. Now, our Abakhanjar, when I tariff to that, if not, relax the tariffs, and then bam, here we are. How do you charge your own company in your own country tariff 25%, just because they didn't manufacture phones in their own country?
Sure.
Then how do you charge? Or charge a country, a company, more country, for importing their product from somewhere else? And then you charge them 25%?
Yeah.
How much do you think they're going to sell that product for to your own people?
Yeah.
By the way,
it doesn't make sense.
Listen.
And I'd like to talk about that because there is support that we can get from you and the United States to help us deal with all these acts of criminality. And that is what I believe partnership is all about. And we are here as a partner so that we can help each other whenever there are challenges. So I'd like us to discuss it, and of course outside of the media, so that we sit down and have a really good discussion that will lead to good outcomes.
Are there any other further punitive measures that could be in place should you not be satisfied that South Africa is fixing some of the very bad things, inverted commas, that you tweeted are happening?
Well, there are a lot of bad things happening in many countries, but this in particular has been very, very bad, and because of we're going to have the whole world watching in another short period of time because you have the G20, and that's a big deal. And it seems like, I want you to look good. I don't want you to look bad.
Very good.
But we have hundreds of people, thousands of people trying to come into our country because they feel they're going to be killed and their land is going to be confiscated. And you do have laws that were passed that gives you the right to confiscate land for no payment. You can take away land for no payment.
I want to clarify that because we have a constitution.
Yeah.
The constitution guarantees and protects the sanctity of tenure of land ownership.
Yes.
And that constitution protects all South Africans with regard to land ownership. However, we do say, because we've got to deal with the past, the government, and as your government also has the right to expropriate land for public use.
What happened to, I'm going to tell him. Go Mozart. Remember this one.
This is what you did.
This one.
I will tell him. I will say, you, Donald Trump, you are even worse because your forebears came to America. They found the native, the indigenous Americans. They wiped them out. They killed nearly all of them.
Yeah, okay. Where's that confidence when
it needs to come through?
Yes, 3 minutes to 9. Why is he? I Rupert.
Yeah, because you're gonna need to. I just wanted us to. I want to what is this? Yeah. Rupert Johan was speaking. Is this part of this clip?
I'm going to. Yeah, this should be a part more demo clipping.
Okay.
But, what I can.
Let's also hear Stenias. Please pay
God.
Special attention to the focus and the attention that Trump is going to give to Steenhuisen in this moment.
Take a look at this.
And it's a big problem. Marco Rubio was telling me he's never seen anything like it. The numbers of people that want to leave South Africa because they feel they're going to be dead very soon.
Let them go. Let them go.
Brian, go.
If I could just ask you a question. 72% of farmers in your country are white. If they flee, do you feel that maybe the economy could collapse? You may not have a gap to fill in those people that need to replace those farmers.
You know, I'd like my Minister of Agriculture, who is white, who comes from an opposition party to mine, who's joined my government at my invitation to address this very issue, including the question that you've just raised. John?
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Mr. President, thank you for welcoming us to the White House. I would say we have a rural safety problem in South Africa. I don't think anyone wants to candy coat that. And it requires a lot of effort to get on top of it.
Why is he so red? Like he's so red, woman.
It's white people.
No, but look at him. He's so red. Like he's red. And look at this one. Look at this one.
The Aaron race. Give the Aaron race.
Oh, please. And raise my.
It's going to require more policing resources. It's going to require different strategy to be able to deal with it. But certainly the majority of South Africa's commercial and smallholder farmers really do want to stay in South Africa and make it work. And I've just come from the largest agricultural show in the Southern Hemisphere with organized agriculture and farmers, and the majority of them want to stay. But they too there have a memorial to those who've died as a result of farm attacks. And as the Minister of Agriculture, it is something that I'm particularly exercised with my colleagues at police and my colleagues in the justice cluster to start making farm attacks and stock theft a priority crime. And it affects all farmers in South Africa, particularly stock theft. It has a disproportionate effect on smallholder black farmers. I also want to just say this, that the two individuals that are in that video that you've seen are both leaders of opposition minority parties in South Africa. Mkhonto Wesizwe under Mr. Zuma and the economic freedom fighters under Mr. Malema. Now the reason that my party, the Democratic Alliance, which has been an opposition party for over 30 years, chose to join hands with Mr. Ramaphosa's party was precisely to keep those people out of power. We cannot have those people sitting in the union buildings making decisions. And that is why after 30 years of us exchanging barbs across the floor in Parliament and trying to get one over on each other, we've decided to join hands precisely to keep that lot out of government. Because the day they get in to the doors of the union buildings in South Africa or control of our Parliament, that's what you're going to see. And that is why this government, working together, needs the support of our allies around the world so that we can strengthen our hand, grow our economy, and shut the door forever on that rabble getting through the doors of the union bodies, because then South Africa's future would be...
So you denounced that type of language in the video?
He finished his entire statement.
No disturbance. There's death.
But feel... Wait, you know, when you see a situation and you're like, what more if, like, for example, Steenhuisen was our president, and it was just Steenhuisen and Trump speaking right now and saying, we can't have these people coming in. We need to close the door. And in my mind, I'm just feeling like, if now towards every black person saying, we can't let them get power anymore. We need to shut the door. They can't have influence in our country anymore. Like the way he's saying it so passionately, ne? And fine, right now he's just referring to the EFF and the MK and all of them saying they're too outspoken for our liking. You know, they're problematic. And I'm like, you know what? The good thing out of all of this is that he was, I guess, debunking to a degree. You know what? It was just this group of people who were saying this. It's not to say it's the whole country's perspective. It's not like everybody wants to kill the boer and kill the farmers. You know, just to clarify, we're trying to control this group of people that are radical.
Do you know what that whole thing showed? That we still have two countries in one. Ne?
Yeah.
We still have two countries in one. We still have two peoples in one.
Yeah.
Shame, that's what it showed. Nothing else. You can't say that as a minister of a government. Like everybody's telling him that, go Twitter, you are there to sell yourself and you failed.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to say that about another people as if they're not citizens of this country. You have a right to do whatever they're doing. 100%. And then play the reasons why we're having these things in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reason why we have this in the first place. That is the reason. So you cannot downplay this if it doesn't make any difference. We need to rebel. Rebel in what way? How is a whole parliamentarian like yourself a rebel? How do you go to another country which undermines you already and speak about people like that? And you call them rebels?
Yeah.
To shut the door. Who are you?
As you said,
people are going to vote for the MK now and King. After this little showdown, they're going to vote for them so much.
The votes are going to skyrocket now.
Yes, they're going to vote for either MK or EFF. EFF has been making so much noise. I would not even be surprised if they're going to now come back to number 2. I'm telling you now.
Sure. Because this is a lot about his intentions.
We cannot have people like this.
People out
representing us. We cannot have people like this in our country in the first place.
Who's going to say we need to shut the door?
Who is he?
People. We need to ensure we keep these people out of the union building. They cannot be influential people who decide on policies because of their radical.
Who is he? In the first place, you say that's nonsense only. Who is he?
Minister of Agriculture.
Hana metric to on further qualification 10 times. No wonder he can speak without a lead or a filter. This person was a dog shampoo salesperson before as an IDA, by the way. Hana any political training, hana any political education, hana any political decorum.
Oh man.
He was selling dog shampoo. This person. That is why he can speak like Trump.
I really feel like in the next discussion we have to talk about what it takes to really be a person of influence in this country, because no ways. There's nothing that's so disheartening like seeing politicians falling asleep in parliament. I'm just like, Banting. This person is adding no value to parliament right now. You're falling asleep during that. Yeah. And same thing right now. I'm just like, I did not know her background there is. So like, aren't we supposed to be qualified? Don't we qualify for things anymore? Like it's oh, guys.
It's fine.
No, we need to have prerequisites.
Now Arutle, the real president of this country, speaking.
So there's a lot of coexistence going on in health from a lot of areas, but I feel we need the US to push this thing through. We've got a great ally. If we can have the US. It's always been an ally of South Africa for a very long time. Even in the days of the war, up in Angola, you guys helped us. So very important for us to have your support and get the change we need.
Where did you do that well? He might have done that even better than he plays golf.
Yeah, what after this one?
Okay.
Did you hear the comment up Trump? He does. You do this so well.
Oh.
You do this more than you do golf.
This is the only positive thing that came out of his mouth.
You are white. You are supposed to do that. That's what it means.
Yeah.
He does this so well. You know what? People should be sitting next to me, not this nonsense.
Can you guys switch seats? No,
Ramaphosa can just switch a little bit.
Can you move a little bit? Can we add? I would say, Natalie, can you please bring a chair?
Do you see the nervous laugh on that face of Ramaphosa? Can you see that? That's a that's a nervous face. That's not a face of a man who's confident.
Yes.
Because of you just want to, get rid of this shame and
I'm cringy.
It's almost impossible. Johan, please.
Sorry, Mr. President, if you had to wind
there you go.
all of those tapes properly, you will see I'm the biggest target of that rabble-rouser. Number one for over 10 years. Mr. Malema. In fact, the first time I met him, he was in the youth league with that gentleman. And look,
Did you hear what Malema said about this thing? He was with him go youth league. Malema, you never touch my shoulder like that. As a white person.
Yeah.
That's a sign of disrespect, by the way. It's like hey man, Khadi, yes.
Yeah.
You're my friend, but you're nothing. You are
it's
here.
Belittling.
It's belittling so much.
Okay.
We saw that Ramaphosa laid the Moitloof thing that happened. Who filled that contract with BEE.
Okay.
And to white company, Darwin's, I believe. Baldwin's. And there was a picture of this guy actually the president on his shoulder like a little boy.
Sure.
Like a little boy shaking one arm. No shame.
Okay, so it's like etiquette. It's these little things that show all compamuto you go for the handshake. To assert
get it done.
The fact that I respect you. It's like badia.
You're nothing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Disappointing.
Listen.
How he's changed.
Right.
We have too many deaths, but it's across the board. It's not only white farmers, it's across the board. And we need technological help. We need Starlink at every little police station. We need drones. I actually got drones donated for the peace parks to stop elephant and rhino poaching. And his predecessor stopped the importation because he said the United States would spy.
And his predecessor,
That's
that's the president of the country he's talking about.
Yeah.
His predecessor, Harry, the president before the president here. With that respect.
Yeah.
Before this one.
Yeah.
But they were spying on us. How do you get drones from the US? There's no code to how to be born. If I buy a tablet like this, it must come and it's empty.
Yeah.
Then I get to my things and whatever. But hey, it's pre-programmed. And then it can be controlled by somebody else. That's other side. What do you think?
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Exactly.
Because it's here, but it's been controlled all the way that side. Or if we can no,
so
or rather the owner next door.
So Jacob was ahead of me. Jacob Zuma, this person was in the head of the ANC intelligence, whether we like it or not. He knew. For these things, I did find out check rhino poaching. They are doing something else. I'll stop. And they stop.
Ish. And I see we're taking Ramaphosa's attempt to like negotiate and talk about invest in all of that. But you know, when you come into a discussion of negotiating and requesting certain things, I need to offer something so that you also, you can see, okay, it's worth investing here. So I see Rupert is getting respected and acknowledged by Trump because of he's talking about how he's also invested or donated drones. Well, it's something about donating drones and all of that. So he's like, okay, this is a resourceful man. This is a person that I can work with. And so because that means there's certain benefits that I can get from yen. Ramaphosa just comes and says, kopela.
Yeah, let's hope that was the case. But now for now, this is not the case. Rupert Hari is this killing. It's not only white farmers.
Yeah.
Trump nodded. He agreed. You see?
Yeah.
He agreed. He agreed.
Yeah.
He agreed. Or yes, there's nothing like that. I feel it.
I mean, US basics, the ridicule. So if you can help us. Remember, sir, you and I lived in New York in the 70s. We never thought New York could be what it became. 2 commissioners, a tough mayor. We need your help to stop this awful killing. But it's across the board. Ernie is right now building a house in George. I'm building 3 cottages for my grandchildren on a farm outside Grafrenet. I often go to bed without locking the door. And we have a serious problem with illegal aliens who stream across the border.
Lucky for them to be able to build 3 cottages for their grandkids, whereas many black grandkids will always die in a shack.
Yeah.
They'll be born and they'll grow up in a shack and die in a shack. At least they know the cottage in a farm somewhere in Grafrenet.
Whenever you hear experience the Afrikaner.
His house in George. Have you ever been to George? Very nice town. Very racist, very nice town. Next to the sea. He's busy building his house in George. The privilege, the privilege of these people, the audacity for them to think they actually deserve anything they have. And then they cry whenever we want same things like them.
Yeah.
Then they start crying, hey, genocide. They then say,
laws.
hey, race-based laws.
It's a
and
problem.
all that. Who says that? As the black person, my papa, how no yan? Can your father say, oh, I'm building a house in George. I'm building my 3 grandkids,
African?
Cottages somewhere. Who? The others.
Sure.
Who says that? That should show you we are not dealing with people, we're dealing with animals. Like animals. Some of us had to come here to look for a job, right?
Yeah.
And the small job you got, you didn't even enjoy that money.
Yeah.
Because go high.
Black tax.
Grocery. School. I have to start building my mother a house. Or I have to start there. Then somebody will say, I'm busy building 3 cottages for my grandkids.
What luxury.
Wow. Like those kids are gonna grow up with houses.
Yeah.
Nah, I can't even get a bond now.
Sure.
Now I can't even get a bond because I'm get blacklisted or whatever. But his grandkids, not even his kids, his grandkids are gonna grow up with houses. See, that's your cottage. 3 of them. That's your cottage. That's your cottage. That's your cottage.
And if anything, Elon Musk, there's a point where he was talking about how this is the opposite of apartheid. It's apartheid in reverse.
How? How about how children must be equal to you? Because that's the whole point.
Yeah.
They must be equal to you.
It's the reversal. Yes, they're calling it reversal for apartheid. We're calling it undoing what you did. We're calling it equity. Like, let's make amends for all that was destroyed.
We call it equality. So get over it. If you cannot handle people being equal to you, then you can go to Mars. Where you want to go so desperately, you can go and stay there.
Take all the rockets to
Mars.
Yeah,
go Mars. How to colonize Mars and take only white people with you, please. Don't take anybody else. Ma bana ke marabile go tweet at this boy. O bua ka taba ya gore population. O ga ke ka population e wang ya makgowa Europe they are declining. I'm like, Emona, why are you so obsessed with race? I can't respond to him straight.
Sure.
Why are you so obsessed with race?
Who is this?
Elon Musk himself, my man.
Is it?
Yes. I respond like, why are you so obsessed with race, brother?
Yeah.
Like busy. Why is this like Maburu art what is your problem?
He is obsessed. Well, okay, if that's the case though, but he doesn't want to acknowledge it when now we have race-based laws. It works.
Sure,
he can be obsessed with it when it caters to the white supremacist, but when it comes to race-based laws that helps that alleviates the black people, then it's like
it's
lebalang race. Why does
wrong.
it? Why do you have to look at
about race? Do not take your South African mentality to the world. Why do you still have that South African mentality? Now you are supposed to be superior. Like once a map wa selo. Why Europe? It wants all different countries how the population is going down.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, the great dying. I'm like, if you don't do your job, talk to the men in Europe, but they must do their job. Everybody else is making babies except you people. Transgender. Who do we get transgender to? Molin.
Yeah. Where do these ideologies come from?
You. So blame yourself for bringing all this nonsense. I never know about them. All right. I feel you because of Nagwache.
It's like a 10 minutes.
And
we need to. Okay, we'll summarize. Okay, we want to focus on Rupert. Okay, because when you felt like Kosatu, that lady was not saying anything of value.
But again, I think Errol remote for a little while. It's fine.
Let's finish this video.
I think the video then somebody to Ratsal. Yeah.
And if you really look at our statistics, a lot of these murders, firstly it's unemployment and illegal aliens. And then I met Vice President Bartz many years ago, the Charlie Rose show. My wife loved the book. And she reminded me this morning that you emphasized the devastation that occurs when big companies leave towns and cities, and there's a culture of dependency that develops. I remember you discussing it. Now that's our problem. If we don't get our economy to grow, the culture of dependency and the lawlessness will increase. I've again been against apartheid all my life.
Waka. Liar. He has been against apartheid like his whole life. Are you serious?
Apparently.
And the bond.
And I'm their number one target. Please just Google my name and Malema. You'll see it, sir. He marched on the farm.
But the crime is bad.
The crime is terrible, sir, but Mr. Steenhuisen won't admit to it, but he runs the Western Cape, where I live. And the biggest murder rate is in the Cape Flats. Gangs. We've got gang warfare, like your M33, whatever these guys. We've got equivalents there, but we need your help, sir. And we need Elon technology.
Well, one of the real areas of support is really in investments. We've got to grow our economy, because through growing the economy, we're then able to create more jobs. Because crime really thrives where there is inequality and unemployment. And that is one of the reasons that has brought us here, to improve our investment relations, our trade relations, so that we can preserve the number of jobs that your companies have created in South Africa. By virtue of what we export to you, we are able to create up to 500,000 jobs in the auto industry, in the agricultural industry, and a number of other industries, mining, where we export things to you. And we also know that as South African companies invest here, you are also able to create jobs. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship. So our main real reason for being here is to foster trade and investment, so that we are able to grow our economy with your support, and so that we are also able to address all these societal problems, because criminality thrives when people are unemployed, when they have no other hope to eke out a living. So that is what we need to resolve. And your support, your partnership with us is what is really going to give us a strong capability to move forward.
Retief, do you have, excuse me, do you have anything to say? I mean, I don't want to leave you out.
Yeah.
Well, back to the white people.
Yes.
There's this tweet from Mbuyiseni Kgosi that I want to read. And he says that what happened in that room is the greatest assault on Africa's dignity, sovereignty, and liberation legacy. They literally handed over our country. What a shameful state of affairs. Any proud African watching that drama must have felt the shame deep in their hearts. And I really feel like that's the sentiment of a lot of
course,
South Africans right
that's
now.
Mine. That's mine.
Took the words right out of your mouth.
I did. It did. I saw that tweet, Shem.
Yeah.
I actually spoke about it more my offline video, the same again. I did. Bona when maybe most of you youngsters will not understand this part, right?
Okay.
We are fighting an ongoing battle between us and them. Do you understand? It will never end. Most of you are born in Westview, something like this, and you grew up in electricity, you grew up with everything, you know?
Yeah.
You was Kolong, and from there, there's no black text for you guys. Some of us had to have that.
Yeah.
No? Not because of choice, understand, right? Because of circumstance and the law that was put.
Yeah.
There was literally a law that says you cannot do this because of the color of your skin.
Sure.
There were laws like that. You can't stay here because of the color of your skin.
Yeah.
You can't have this kind of relationship with Limutomso because of the color of your skin. You cannot have a job like this. Yeah. Literally, you can't have a job like this because of the color of your skin. Not because you're not qualified, not because you've got a low IQ, not because you're ugly, not because you are stupid, but because the color of your skin says you cannot do that. The color of your skin says to you, you're going to end up on grade 2 just for you to be able to speak Afrikaans and be able to write your name, Anna, or whoever. My mother's name was Anna. He was given that nonsense name given October because they could not really pronounce his name. That's it. You're going to end up here. We're designing your life for you. And by that, we're designing your children's life.
Sure.
Your generational life. We're designing it for you so that whatever poverty is from Moen, you leave them with nothing.
Yeah.
And that cycle continues like that. Because if I don't empower my kids, how are they going to be empowered? How are going to be people going?
It's going to keep going.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So most of Batonga Talabako DA, the black DA members, go America, the black and Hispanic Trump voters, are you seeing what's happening? Your vote, Trump. My DA are black. Can they see what's happening in this country today? How I know, just one the worst thing is a black person wearing a blue t-shirt amongst white people wearing orange t-shirts, fighting against a policy that will make his kids to be equal to their kids. And because we have invested ourselves so much into being divided ourselves and not to you are good, then that's when, yes, applaud. That thing is still in our heads.
It's still
unfortunately. Like, you look at that Bella march, for example. How do you as a black person go to a march like that? Do you know what the people are marching for?
What was the march for?
Against the Bella Bill.
Okay.
The Bella Bill there won't be any Africans only schools.
Okay.
The SGBs are going to be subject to the Minister of Education.
Okay.
They won't just do things on their own. On their own. There's no language policy for the school. There should be only one language, English.
Okay.
There's a lot of clauses there.
Okay.
And the SGB won't be the supreme body of the school to decide whatever the school needs. Especially when it comes to Tawatsabudi, language, especially language.
Yes.
They like to use. Remember last time I told you, Kuro. They used to have, I don't know if they still do now, Africans and English classes.
Yeah. Even at UP, they had to strike against that.
Exactly. Because they know how
Yeah.
we go there, they go there. That is nonsense. Language policy. So the SGB of the school, sitting at us, especially government schools, white government schools, and all of them, they used to now come in. No, our language policy, we need to teach mother tongue.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to teach mother tongue because
yes.
So it's not only, now you are mixed.
Yes.
You can't teach mother tongue, whereas okay, fine. Let's have this. Let's have Afrikaans class that our kids will learn. Let's have a Zulu class, Sotho class, Xhosa class, Tswana class, Tsonga class, Venda class.
And we'll find teachers for them.
Ndebele class.
Yeah. Some teachers, they'd prefer to teach in their own language.
Hariri, only then Ndebeles will enter or the black people enter.
You
they
can
root
choose.
everyone.
Yeah.
Highly class are number 50. 25 black, 25 white. They're going to all learn Zulu. One. Much as they can now learn Afrikaans as well. Now I learned Afrikaans for 12 years in my schooling.
Yeah.
From grade 1 till matric.
Me too.
We were doing that nonsense. And I can understand and speak it. My daughter is doing it, and she's like saying Afrikaans and Makos. Elma is so black, it's not even funny. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why the Bella Bill was introduced, so that everybody can be equal. So you see a black DA member, blue. Stop Bella. Bella Bill says to you as a black person, your child can go to Kuroko, any other, even especially government-run schools.
Okay. Yeah.
All these schools that are supposed to be in the suburbs,
okay,
but government-owned.
Yes.
Yeah. Which were much better than the ones in townships, by the way. You look at Westerleg, I was there for a meeting last time. Like, acoustics. Let's stage it. Let's get in.
Yeah.
Really? In our schools, a separating wall that can just be opened and that's a hall.
Yeah.
Say there's no acoustics, there's nothing. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. People used to be in Monatimbus. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, Barry, you cannot have an Afrikaans only school. We can't be. You understand? That's what the Bella Bill was saying, and it's still saying today. Now, you see, come down to us. You go as a black person and support a march like that. What are you saying to your kids? What are you, just because you are loyal to a party that you think, because it's going to go well. But then the same policies are partying. They exclude a winner.
Yeah.
They exclude you. This is what's happening today at the moment. We're still fighting.
Oh my
God. I'm saying we should actually bite our tongues and bite our lips and just go. Two parties, powerful parties in this country today. That we saw a difference when one of his presidents was president of this country. Why is it the reason why Zuma was hated? Then he was very pro-black. Jacob, he was pro-black but took. Hence, they are handless. No, he has to go. They manufactured bogus nonsense that were corruption. If this was really true,
but there was evidence of that, unless it was
which one
created.
Give me one evidence that was real tangible that can go to court. They targeted emails. Remember? City Press was like this thick with emails. That's supposed to be from the Guptas. They didn't go far. They even faked the email address to resign. But you send the email, nothing. State capture for 2 years came either zero. No evidence. All hearsay. The real evidence was never taken to that thing. People came there and spoke. What time am I saying? No, the president said to me, yes. He was the president who had like a narrative with the president and like a businessman. Business people come we've got this innovation.
Yeah.
Where an SDG help Hageri corrupt them, help. Show them how fast we run. Or like a police government or okay, policy are 1, 2, 3, 5. How where was the corruption anymore? Yeah? Fakey mentor comes. But Jonas, I was given 600 million like a bag. Wait, buddy, did you count the money? You understand? The funders of the state capture, they all treated the testimonies. But that thing ran for 2 years. Huge books were given to this nonsense. They can't even the NPA. There's nothing for us to use. From all that volume, there's nothing for us to use to arrest anybody because that is not evidence. That's hearsay.
So you still believe in Zuma and the MK party?
I do.
Wholeheartedly.
I believe in Jacob. On MK born. I believe in Jacob Zuma.
In him himself.
Because that man, remember, what's the one thing that actually did to shake these people, to see Rivera, weapons were taken out for him, against him, was when he introduced the mining chart.
Yeah.
When he said 30%, this BE thing, are 30% of all the mines will be owned by black workers in those mines.
Sure.
But my man, Shiana, and I got the DA leader. My man, investors will go away. Hey, investment. Hey, state capture is similar. The state capture. There is Guptas. There is this. Oh, there is this. Oh, there is this. Oh, yes. Hey. Because Jeseta Oriental Jomohano. You understand? I still believe in him. Everything they said about Jacob, they can't even prove it. They can't even prove it. They tried to throw him in jail. For what? For not going to a court. Really? When previous white presidents refused to go to the TRC border, PW refused to but $900 a pound. Anna quite happy in peace. Anna right. But they throw a whole president of a black person. The only president that never had any white backing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Holomo, we're still fighting, Bafanas.
Yeah.
We're still fighting a long battle that is not going to end anytime soon.
Yeah. It's still going to keep going for the longest because there's way too many things to disassemble and emancipate us as black people as well to look towards what's the better option at this point because it's tough.
The better option for now, I'll say to any black South African out there, better option for you as a black person. I want us to do a show about different color t-shirts, one black skin.
Different color t-shirts on black skin.
One black skin.
Okay.
Different color t-shirts, one black skin. What does it mean? Stop associating yourself with the color of your t-shirt as a black person and with the divider from somebody because an opera says blue or says green or says yellow
the shirts are
or
just
says
representing the political parties. So I guess the core issue is the political parties that are separating us as people.
And we agree.
Identify.
And we agree with that as well. Why?
We need to talk about that, guys. But there's a lot. We already have a number of things that we want to discuss. Qualifications for the politicians.
Yes.
Leona, when it comes to presidency, what should it take to be a president?
Yeah.
And then different colors for one. You said one black skin, right?
Different color t-shirts, one black skin.
Yeah. No,
thank you.
It's going to be a nice one.
Yeah. Sorry about the little interruption. The internet shame. I need to really change my service provider. And sometimes no bother. Sometimes it's sharp. Internet. But
apologies, but you'll do better in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in. And please follow up. If you didn't get to tune in through the whole time on YouTube, it'll be uploaded, right? Under the views tab so that people can check it out and follow in.
The video tab, but I'm going to do it now.
Perfect.
Like it editor can sapina. I get penalize YouTube.
Oh yes, God. No, okay.
But it's fine because my platform, like my platform, right?
100% Kgosi TV.
As you can see on the screen there. Yeah, it's nearly there. I was,
almost.
Yeah. So when it comes, you guys can use it as YouTube. Upload your videos, do whatever.
Okay.
That you can. Why in a copyright?
Bye.
Bye-bye. We love you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe.
Yes.
Share and like.
And comment.
And comment.
They're engaging, man. We need to hear your opinions because then we know you're not keeping up with the news.
You see?
Which is a problem. So, see you next Monday.
Bye-bye.
Politics shows.